For those who don't know me, my name's Dave Andrews from Laying Power over in Victoria. Last year I did a bit of a presentation on and a live link up to our system, just to show you what we're doing. We're the biggest power station in Victoria, and I believe we're the largest open cut coal mine in the Southern Hemisphere, so fairly large concern. As far as MacroView people go, in a sort of a Unix flavoured environment, I'm the black sheep in the family. We've got the Windows environment. I must admit, I'm very happy with it, and MacroView in general, as we say with Chris as well, we love it, and talk you to convert it here as such as it is. I think one of the best reasons for these user groups is, apart from seeing what the developers are doing, which is fantastic, it's also hearing what users are doing, as we've seen with Chris as well, and with Brian and such stuff now, that people are ongoing doing development all the time, and here's a chance for us to see what we're doing, as well as get ideas from that and to share these sort of ideas around. So sort of what we've done in the last year, since last year's presentation, we've done a fair bit of work with redeveloping some source that Orb gave me on the ADO.net. So I've got a little app that's out now which a lot of our people use, our statisticians people, our belt buying contractors. They're able to call information directly from our trends databases and plot those and do what they need to do. Easy extraction of any of the values from the MacroView system. My associate, Wayne Holloway, who couldn't be here today, has been doing a lot of work in expanding our artesian network. We've got a lot more pumps online now. That's become a great tool for all our civil people. They're continuing looking at all our pump monitoring. And I've been doing a lot of work in the redefining utilisation of our plant, what our dredgers are doing in terms of rates, whether they're available or not, and that's a difference in our rates as well, which has gone up to the corporate level. So there's sort of some of the significant ones, as well as a lot of day-to-day work and a lot of smaller apps that we generate during the year. The main part of today's one also is something that we've been sort of talking about doing for a while, was bringing in the operator logs back into our system. For years, right since the start of our mine, we've had big sheets of paper, probably, would that be A2, probably close to A2, I'd say A3 size paper, multiple columns, all handwritten by our operators. Issues with there, a lot of times, is the operator may not be around, or the operator might not choose to even write down an event that's happened, so we're not seeing a true picture of what's happening in terms of the delays throughout our mine. So in recent, and this has only been in the last month or so, we've decided to build on the old oplog application, but tailor it more towards our environment. So, as I say, it's based on the original oplog. I'm not sure if anyone's still using it. I know Orb's used it in the past and certainly done some great dev on it. But is anyone else still using it at the moment? Okay, all right, well, there's potential here. Something I was going to also say towards the end, but I'll say it now. Part of the reasons of doing this is, and now also in association with the forum that's on the website, like to sort of try and start encouraging sharing of applications or things that we all develop. And here's a chance for stuff to put out, and like I say, this will be freely available once the time's all done if people wish to use it. All power to you. I hope that some people get some use from it. So anyway, we're basing off on the original oplog application. Refining its layout. I'm not a real big fan of big chunky bevels and the like. I like the more sort of more Windows style, thin looking items. Something, because we're on a window based, we also want to make things that are easy for our users to sort of see as a consistent flow throughout the place. So changing the looks of it to look a little bit more Windows. Filtering buttons. The idea would be, as on our log sheets, they have a number of columns depending which dredges they're using. So the idea is that we'll have an oplog that contains all the events for all the plant, but also the facility, just to narrow it down to the ones that they want to utilise at the time, just for sakes of reporting and viewing. The automatic logging, again stemming back to what I said earlier, that a lot of the times our operators will refuse to log or conveniently forget to log something, especially when there's situations like fires and people haven't done things that they're supposed to have done. They conveniently forget to log things, so it's very confusing to analyse the disasters afterwards. The idea of the automatic logging is we'll link this in through the alarm system, that whenever an event happens, a stop or a start of the dredger, there will be a pop-up of sorts that says this dredger, in terms of stop running, it's not an issue, that'll just automatically log. But if it stops and there's a stop for a reason, it'll analyse and say, okay, if I stopped just for an operational stop, or if I stop for an alarm. The idea being that they'll get a pop-up, they can acknowledge and say that yes, this is a true account of what happened, or they'll be able to edit that and pick another option and say from a drop-down list of what's actually happened, or as well as having a free-form edit on the end of that as well. The idea to have the captioned ones, the container type files, is that we can then sort on those. I'm not sure if you know about what your operators are like, but a lot of our operators have difficulty in spelling things. So hence, if you had one operator might say it's stopped with 1p, or another one might say it's stopped with 2p, you go for a sort afterwards on stop events and you'll miss half your events. So the idea of having contained that they can only do certain responses will make it much easier for sorting on those codes afterwards. And they'll also be attributed to delay categories, which will be summarised. So they'll be able to select that and edit it. Likewise, manually, at any stage, that operator could also put in a manual log of something that's happened, just to keep track of things that have gone in during the shift. Delay codes, as mentioned just before, each of the alarms which we have will be attributed to a delay type. We have a number of different delays: E's for electrical, M's for mechanicals, O's for operational, and different codes relate to those, whether they be isolator related, whether they become overloads, supply failures, all that sort of stuff. So the idea is we'll track all those different codes, and at the end of each shift a report will be generated with the delay times associated to that. Also, we work on a 12-hour shift, 7 in the morning till 7 at night, and likewise 7 at night to 7 in the morning. So that 720 minutes will be all catered for. We'll be able to track every time associated to delays and operationals for those 720 minutes. As I said, shift by shift. Initially, what will be displayed on the log is the current shift. There's also a current and a previous button, so that they can click previous, go back to the last shift, again, previous shift, all the way back as far as they need, and then a current button to take you back to the current shift. There will also be down the track retrieval of any date and time to bring up a shift. Again, very embryonic, it's only like a week or so old. Monthly reporting will be done at the end of that, which will contain all the different stats for the month, all the delays. It'll be incorporated into a much larger reporting, which has all the production rates and values for the month as well. Rough mock-up of what we've got so far. Very simple. It is based pretty much on the older log in terms of, like you can see on the menus on the sides, but it's just a first display. It'll keep track of who's put it in, what the plant items are, dates and times, etc. With the facility at the moment, as you can see there, it's showing you all the items. The current shift is shown on the right-hand side as well, which is an updating affair. As I say, there you get as an event comes through, you'll get a little pop-up. Again, the operator has at this stage just a deny or accept it. In future, that will also have the drop-downs for modifying that or editing as it needs to be. And last little bit is if you focus on actually just one plant item, you just get all the events associated with that. Very early days, and that's as much as I can show you at this stage, but the idea is really to show you that people are working on other areas that may be of use to other people, and like I say, it'll be freely available when it's finished on the forums, and if anyone wishes it, please feel free to grab it.
Easy way to stop asking for that operator, D. Andrews, is a money.
You know that, don't you?
So if you're running in MacroView and something happens, it'll just pop up. No matter where you are, you'll just get this thing pop up.
The idea is that currently we've got a 4-screen setup, which our operators use. It's a single mouse keyboard across the lot. We are going to put another screen next to them, which will just be on a Wise terminal thin client, as we use everywhere throughout the place. That will be dedicated to this application. As a moment, they have a screen. But at the same time, if they wish, they can quite easily call it up. The log,
on the button.
little icon there, anyone can call up throughout the place, which that's cool. I certainly will do. Our managers will be able to do the same. They'll be able to call these logs up at any stage in time and see what's happening.
You've got a mail soft key there.
Yes, we're using a little app called Posty. It's a freeware jobby, linked via our mail server, and we can send any of those actual lines in the log can be sent to a specific user. The current version I'm using at the moment of the older oplog, I've got it as a reporting tool that some of our coal delivery officers, they've got no network access apart from the MacroView screen. So they write me up requests or logs of things, and they can click on that mail and send it through our Lotus Note system. So I get requests from the op guys saying, hey, can we add this value into the system? They also, as a user first, sending mail to, can send it to their supervisors. So they can write up just a free-form report and say, blah, 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 this idler's falling out of the conveyor, can you get something done, and send it to as well. So we bypass, until they've got a proper network access down there, which we're in the process of putting a fibre ring around now, they use this as a tool for sending reports back into the system. So it's dual purposes. What I hadn't showed was the original op log is still in the background there, and when it's being run from the CDO guys or from the civil guys, they have the old style looking log, whereas when you go in for the production one, this is the new face that they've got on it. So both are running there, just running different DGTs over the front of it all. Like I say, early days, it's only really been about a week's work on there so far, but again, just to see what's going on.
Great.
So,
Cheers.
no problems.